Hey, it's I'm Lisa Collins.
And I'm Suds,
Today I'll be interviewing Suds on how to run a small business.
and I'll be trying my best to answer some of the questions.
So Suds, what is the biggest lesson to date that you've learned whilst running your business?
I think the biggest lessons, I think it's more than a few, are things like getting things in writing, always stay cash flow positive, be honest and transparent. I
Okay.
think those are the three main ones that I've learned so far, and I'm still learning on a daily basis, as you know.
Alright, so then what's been your biggest mistake?
Biggest mistake, wearing the spotty shirt on the videos.
I really like that shirt, you know?
The amount of grief I've got from all cross section of my friends, and society, and decency and fashion and taste. I actually really like the shirt as well.
I think it's really fashion forward.
Exactly.
Yeah. It protrudes confidence, which is always something you want to give out, the aura of.
Thing is, I went to Topshop the day before and I saw it on the rail for like £15, and I thought, you gotta. If you don't, then no one else will. And I just picked it up and I thought,
You gotta be a trendsetter. Someone's gotta start the trend, you know?
exactly. And you can't wear a boring shirt when you're doing a video about interesting content. Except for the shirt I'm wearing today. I had meetings.
Alright then, so you've talked about a lot of the sacrifices, but it's not all bad. So tell us about some of the most highest points you've had since you've started your own business.
I mean, it's from day one. Doing something you really believe in and something you're so passionate about. Not many people are lucky enough to be able to do that. Even if you have a very, very high paid job, if you don't believe in what you do, then you're almost stuck in a way. Whereas running a small business, the financial rewards may not be there in the first couple of years or so, but every day you're doing something you really believe in. Every day you're doing something you're passionate about, and every day you're doing something that you chose to do. And there is no glass ceiling. There is no, it's one of these things where I look forward to going to work on Mondays. I'm always the most passionate person in the team, in terms of trying to do the best and really trying my hardest. We'll edit this bit out.
No, I'm the most passionate. You can come second to me.
No, working with people who, and getting people who are, who believe in your mission or who believe in your purpose is, it's rewarding. I think I cannot tell you how many highs I've had, but also, I cannot tell you how many lows I've had as well. So it's being able to ride both and actually still be okay and come to work the next day, not being depressed and drinking all the time. Not me, obviously.
Okay then, moving on. So you need to have a lot of focus, I feel, to actually be able to achieve something when you start out your own business. A lot of the time, you can give it your all, but you can feel disheartened and lose focus of the whole project, of your whole aspiration and what you want to do. So how do you stay on focus, stay on track?
This is a very practical thing, I guess, and I spoke to you about this the other day. I go for a run in the morning and I do 100 press-ups and 100 squats, reps every single day. And you should try it. I mean, not. I didn't mean it in that way.
Oh,
but
really?
What I'm saying is, sometimes you need to really take your mind off things. So you cannot just think about the same problem 24 hours a day, because you'll end up going crazy. And I always do at least one thing in the morning, whether it be going for a run or doing something physical, or even just taking a 10-15 minute break to actually do a bit of light meditation, just to sort of take your mind off it. So, and that normally helps me focus. And having good, few real friends and family members who are there to be a shoulder to cry on is always good. And believe me, I've had a few sad times where I've had to rely on my network of friends and family to help me.
I remember there was one time we were both very recently on set together and a disaster broke out.
Yeah.
I remember being quite worried at the time, and I went off and dealt with like the situation, but I came out and Suds, you were off doing your own thing. You stayed very much on track. So how do you remain so focused and calm in some of the most stressful situations? Like, it was the worst situation we've had to date, but you should have seen Suds. He was like so calm and serene. You can't tell me you were meditating at that time.
No, believe me. Actually, by the way, I really want to congratulate you, because that time you were very, very calm, because I've seen people just fall apart at these kind of things. Eventually, whether you're running a production company, or whether you're running a small accounting company, or whatever whether you work for a multinational company, things will go wrong, and you cannot control every aspect of everything. So the key to, I believe, success is being able to deal with failures very well. And by that, it was actually probably it wasn't a disaster, because we got everything we wanted to from the production, from a production schedule, but behind the scenes there was a real it was a real mess. And I think by the way, like at that time I was almost as bad as you inside, but I knew that if I started panicking, then everyone else would, and eventually our product, or what we intended to go there with to film, would suffer. So I had to really dig deep and actually just be like, look, switch off that part of your mind which says everything's going wrong and go to a corner and cry. It's more like, that's not going to benefit what your end goal is. So I just kept my eye on what we needed to do on that day.
I remember thinking personally myself, I was like, I had to stay calm for the sake of the rest of the team. I didn't want them to see me angry or like suddenly in shock. I wanted to stay completely calm at that moment. But I had to tell myself to do that. I went out the room for a little bit. I dealt with the situation, but I didn't want to deal with it in front of anyone else, because I knew I'd be going for a whirlwind. But you stayed with the team the entire time, and like they had no clue what was going on behind the closed doors. And then you came in and checked in on me, and I was like, we're all okay. But you managed to like stay calm through that. And I think to have your own business, you need to have your own kind of leadership skills, and you do have that.
Yeah. By the way, like when we first met, I recognized something inside of you, and I always I knew that if you would be able to handle these kind of situations, then you'd be able to handle anything, and it's not just, look, you got to be calm in the scenario where things are going wrong, but the most important thing is what you also surround yourself with good people. Because if you're in a set, and then, or if you're in a work situation, and you've got a colleague who just doesn't, if you're really in a bit of a mess, you need people around you who are going to be there for you. Whether it be, I don't know, a small thing like a printer going wrong and you need to print a contract out, or in our case, some other things which happened. You have to be able to bounce off each other. And I think the fact that you were very good in handling the situation actually gave me some confidence as well. So I think we did well. I don't want to congratulate ourselves.
You just want to pat ourselves on the back.
Exactly. It's more like just being able to handle the worst things. And believe me, it'll never get as bad as that. The main thing is we survived the day. We got all the footage we wanted, and not lesser people, but people who were not prepared for it would have wilted. And I think you got to really dig deep sometimes, and I'm happy that we made it out alive.
The best part of interesting content is obviously me.
Yeah, a lot of our passwords is
oh no, you can't give me that. Oh god.
We'll change them tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll change them tomorrow, right?